Good evening. Welcome to Military Strategies. We are live right now. January 7th, 2026. Vladimir Putin, Russia, rescues the oil tankers from the Ghost Fleet. He sends a nuclear-capable submarine to Navy ships. And a new strategy that puts the United States in check, which will have to make a historic decision. Challenge Russia or swallow its pride and let it go. All for oil, all for war, the geostrategic war that Venezuela has provoked.
Let's begin.
Good evening, family. Welcome to Military Strategies. We're live. January 7th, 2026. This is the second show we've done in the last few hours with new updates and breaking news. It's been confirmed. The United States has said it. Russia has just sent, or may already have in the area of operations, a nuclear-capable submarine along with some escort ships to protect the oil tanker. Former sailor Bella 1. The thing is, not only is it starting to get complicated, but it's also starting to smell like something's burning. Really, really burning. The United States sent Special Forces equipment to the United Kingdom in the last 72 hours to intercept the Bella 1, which had been on the run from the Caribbean Sea for several days, at full speed, heading to Russia with oil, possibly loaded from Venezuela. Live images right now from Flight Radar. A P-8 Poseidon aircraft is currently patrolling the operations area. Careful, because the P-8 might not be following the Bella, but instead is looking for the submarine to see what's going on. What the heck is happening with this story? But it's not just here. Pay attention to this. Breaking news. Very important about Venezuela. We have several. First, Diosdado Cabello has been directly threatened by the United States. Either he cooperates or he is eliminated. Second, Padrino's missing. Watching from the shadows. Third, there are rumors and strong rumors that the General of the Honor Guard, Estabale, has been dismissed and detained. 4. There's Rodriguez, running as a strong Venezuelan woman, and signs an agreement. for millions of barrels with the United States to stay in power. Tremendous. Tremendous, tremendous, family. The story, what we're bringing tonight, anyone would say so. It's happening right now, huh? I want you to see this. I want you to see what I'm about to show you right now on the screen, because it's amazing. I was blown away when I saw it. And now we'll talk about the submarine topic, because there's even bigger breaking news. First, this. I'm pleased to announce that the interim authorities of Venezuela will deliver between 30 and 50 million barrels of high-quality oil and sanctioned to the United States. This oil will be sold at its market price, and that money will be controlled by me as President of the United States of America to ensure that it is used for the benefit of Venezuela and of the United States. I have asked the Secretary of Energy, Chris Wright, to execute this plan. It will be immediately transported by ship to storage and taken directly to the unloading docks in the United States. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Donald J. Trump. Breaking news. With this, madness. The story goes that just in case, in exchange for staying in power, he has sold himself to the United States with 30 or 50 million barrels of oil. Now we have to see what Chavismo is going to say. Always loyal, never traitors. We could change it to never loyal, always traitors. Well, it seems so. It really seems so, because Padrino doesn't accept this and has been threatened by the United States. Perdon and the state don't accept this and have been threatened by the United States. Now what? About the yes, you said they weren't going to control the future of Venezuela? That's what he's telling people so as not to provoke a cataclysm within Chavismo. But the reality is that they've surrendered.
And completely.
A complete, total surrender of themselves to all these people. Well, what do you guys think? Chat? What are current views on military strategies faced with this? The priority is oil. American fairs. Now that we know this, now that we know that Maria Corina and Edmundo won't be presidents in this round, now what do we think? Yes, it is. It's always fair. It's fair to say that Donald Trump has taken Nicolas Maduro. But he has left us with three. They have left us with three. Careful, because there are more. There are more. Pay attention to this, family. Pay attention to what you're about to see. The new tactic of Russia. The premier tanker, which until recently was registered under another country's flag, now sails under the Russian flag, heading north out of the Caribbean Sea, loaded to the top. Sanctioned vessel, a ship carrying sanctioned oil, but now under the Russian flag. Russia has decided that now all ships going to load in Venezuela must carry the Russian flag, the Russian registry. A way to challenge Donald Trump, a way to say, I am Russia, a nuclear power, and I'm also in Venezuela. Right now, with all this happening, the strategy changes completely. Marcos, who are trying to flee, who are trying to escape from the whole story, and who are going to start changing their flags for the flags of Russia. What is Donald Trump going to do about this? Vladimir Putin just challenged Donald Trump. Let's see if you have what it takes to hijack an oil tanker with my flag. The White House has demanded that Delcy not sell even one more barrel of oil to Russia, Iran, or China. That's not the issue. It's not that Delcy is unwilling. It's that there are agents from Russia, agents from China, and agents from Iran on the ground. Delcy refuses to sell them the oil. It won't be Donald Trump who gets Delcy out of the way. It will be a covert operation by some of these countries. Family, your likes and comments. Let's begin. This is crazy, truly crazy. The novel is moving faster than we can keep up. The Venezuelan series?
No.
Is going too fast. Too fast. Scenarios, possible scenarios. First with the situation in Venezuela, then with the tankers. Let's go step by step. Let's go step by step, right, family? Let's see if we reach 400,000 and you give us some good news tonight. Let's see. Please share this live stream on Twitter. Take the link, Twitter, Military Strategies Live. Russia stands up clearly to Donald Trump. Legally, yes. In international waters. The United States boards a ship flying the Russian flag. Russia could interpret that as a casus belli. A casus belli. Agreed? All right. To see if he's taking risks. Yes to Trump and yes to everyone, and he can't. That's not how it works. Venezuela owes a lot of money to Russia. Venezuela owes a lot of money to China. Venezuela owes a lot of things. Oh, damn. If Delcino starts paying with the only thing they have, which is oil, let's see if their days are numbered. Very, very numbered. Even so, she has decided to move forward and take on Venezuela's hot potato right now. The ships now sail under a flag. From Russia is already a problem for Donald Trump's plans. They probably had already considered this option. But look at this below my camera, what's about to appear right now. While we're talking, the United States is sending planes, possibly fighter jets, towards the United Kingdom. A tanker plane is right now crossing the Atlantic, entering the Atlantic Sea, well, ocean, the Atlantic, heading north. Currently, there's heavy aircraft movement. At the same time, in the Persian Gulf, the situation is getting hotter and hotter by the hour. Identification of naval targets without land by this drone, which right now carries the responsibility of knowing how and when the regime of Iran will fall. And things are getting worse and worse. What's more, Erdogan himself currently has drones flying over the border between Turkey and Iran. He also wants to control whatever might happen in the next few hours. And Israel, now openly hinting that something might happen. All of this. At the same time, the special operations plane, the one that left Israel, is going back home, returning to Moscow, crossing Turkey, Georgia, and it was heading north towards Moscow. Something has happened there. Something has occurred in that story. Something is happening. And I have given you hair. It seems that the record is what this whole story is about. Thank you. See you, Diosti. It could be maybe the one who didn't betray Maduro out of the three, the one who resists sinking the whole business. And the Chavista revolution? Thank you for the dismissal of the honor guard general. It's not a coincidence. Officially, they say that Javier Marcano Tabata is being blamed for the mistake in the loss of Nicolas Maduro Moros and his wife Celia. By the way, it seems that the door frame of Maduro's bunker was too low and they hit their heads when they tried to run in. They nearly cracked their heads open, according to reports. But what does it mean to dismiss and maybe arrest Marcano? They're trying to put a stop, a barrier, to make it a case of a coup d'etat. What we saw the other night, was it really drones or was it the arrest of Marcano? What happened in Miraflores the other night? What happened? Is Marcano alive? That's another question we could ask ourselves now. Let's reflect and let's watch the footage again. From last night, from what happened in Miraflores, I think it's important. I think it's key to understand. It was happening.
Here.
On this side.
What happened here, Marcano? What went on here?
Plaza Caracas 02. An air attack was repelled just now 2 minutes ago.
Marcano, there was a strong explosion here in Miraflores. We don't know what it was. Some lights went up into the air.
No, calm down, get down on the ground.
ordering to shoot.
Look at what's going off.
Look at what's going off.
I don't know.
What happened there last night? What really happened? Officially, in a statement, they said they were testing some kind of drone and didn't notify anyone. People got nervous and started shooting at each other. Well, I think that General Marcano received the dismissal letter last night. He hasn't appeared in public. And normally dismissing a general of Marcano's rank causes an earthquake in the military leadership. Espadrino hasn't spoken out either, nor has he come out to defend Marcano. Not even a power transfer ceremony. We're talking about the Presidential Honor Guard. It's nothing. What we're saying isn't simple. 72 hours after Maduro, 3 days after Maduro. Delcy is already selling 30 to 50 million barrels of oil to Donald Trump. They had talked about this for a long time. The intentions were clear, and the numbers were there. They knew very well what was happening. The collectives are commanded by Diosdado Cabello, Vladimir Padrino, the Army, and Delcy Intelligence. Well, now we have the story. Very clear. What has Diosdado done? Distribute weapons throughout the streets, everywhere, to create chaos? When the time comes, will he accuse Delcy of being traitors, of having sold out Nicolas Maduro? But first, Diosdado will have to communicate with Maduro, let him know, and have Maduro shout it to the four winds so that everyone hears that Delcy is a traitor. An effect that will cause a real tidal wave within Chavismo. Here's the story. That when people find out what has happened, they're going to be amazed. Things are happening right now as well. In the Tampa, Florida area, a tanker that's probably bringing planes from Hawaii is crossing the entire United States to head south. Here we see it. From Honolulu arriving in Miami, arriving in Florida. Aircraft keep moving, troops keep moving, C-17 planes keep arriving in Puerto Rico. It's not, I insist, any coincidence, and there will be a phase 2 here because a civil war is going to break out. That's the worst case scenario, which the United States wants to avoid. The United States left Delcy to avoid sending troops into a guerrilla war, where they know that obviously Americans are going to die and things are going to get way too complicated. Reaching an agreement with a seller like Delcy, who also sells you gold, flour, oil, she brings the whole catalog with her. Is it possible to reach an understanding better than with Nicolas Maduro? Marco Rubio basically said talking to Maduro was impossible since he broke every agreement with Delcy. Let's see if she keeps them. If she doesn't, we'll remove her. Cabello has already been given the heads up tonight, and they've told him, either you behave and stop causing trouble with the groups in the street, or we'll clip your wings. Words suffice for those who understand. The situation right now at this moment is that more planes are also moving back and forth at this time. We see that the tankers are super active on the West Coast. In fact, let's apply the filter we have for these topics, and there we can see it. There are a lot of planes, tankers, moving aircraft right now across the United States of America.
Yeah.
Each and every one with a different mission. And it's clear that they've been carrying out operations in the Gulf of America. Something else needs to be made clear if the United States was really going to war against narco-terrorism. There aren't just narco-terrorists in Venezuela. There are also some in Mexico. There are some in Nicaragua, some in Guatemala, some in Cuba, and some in Colombia.
Yeah.
If the United States didn't launch ground operations now, as they had said, against narco-terrorism, then the real issue was just going after the oil. Because no target was attacked of narco-terrorists on the ground. We could start asking ourselves that question. You know me, I don't sell out to anyone. I ask questions. I want answers. I want to know what's happening, what's going on. This red world of oil, where fortunes are made and lives lost in some regions, is more complicated than we can imagine. It's much more complicated, and I insist on that. Donald Trump said they were going to go after the traffickers on the ground. So far, they've targeted only Maduro, but all the facilities, laboratories, storage centers, airstrips, why aren't they being attacked? They are a threat to the United States of America. They're a national security problem, or at least that's what they've let us see or tried to explain to us. Which already makes me doubt this whole story. What is it really about? Is it about oil or not? About liberating Venezuela? What about the political prisoners? What's happening? What's going on? Why? For a while, it was said that Maria Corina and Edmundo were the presidents. Why? Then it was said that the elections were illegitimate and that Edmundo is not the elected president. Why have things been changing? A clear, detailed explanation is needed because this is serious, especially for the reputation of the United States of America. Trump is the president of America, and he is the president of Americans. And he has to look after and protect the interests of America. But now here's what we have. Before, oil was sold at a low cost, and the Maduro regime kept the money. Now the oil will be sold to the United States at market price. And the money will keep it. The regime, even if Donald Trump promises the money will reach the people, this Narnia is featured in a movie, and Disney has locations worldwide. It's not very realistic. As long as there isn't an economic manager who has control over the country's economy, the money keeps going through the same people. Is Petróleos de Venezuela, Sociedad Anónima, his or hers? Look, also, the president of Petróleos de Venezuela, S.A., is Delcy, so she knows how the business works. Are the soldiers still there? The military option is clearly still possible. Share your thoughts in the chat, family. I want to hear your opinions and impressions. I'm open to any idea right now. I haven't done a full analysis of what's happening yet. It's still too soon. I think we should give it at least 15 days or a month to know what the future holds for Venezuela. Has Trump said or hinted the ICOID would close? We don't know if they'll release the prisoners or not. There has to be some kind of gesture, because if not, the people of Venezuela are going to turn against them. And be careful, because there's another group of people who are quietly at home, waiting to be freed. And if they're not freed, they could also take to the streets violently, which could turn this into a war of wars. Rosaline Strategies. I sent this in the last live stream, but you didn't read it. Sorry, there were many people and it was complicated. Are Russia and the United States going to fight? The cover of The Economist, 2026, comes out next to the image of Maduro's fist in handcuffs. It could be, Rosalina. It could be. We could see someone make a mistake, and that mistake could lead to terrible things. It could be they're both powers, you know? Yes, Russia is greatly weakened by the Ukraine issue and hasn't proven its anti-air systems are more than a bluff. We know it. We're aware of it. But it still has the doomsday weapon. And that can't be ignored. Obviously, the United States doesn't ignore it either. Geopolitical Solitude sums up how geopolitics and geostrategy operate. 100 Fly Raider greetings from Puerto Rico, Shasha. Fly Raider. Of course, now that we know that the planes that go to Caracas, the cargo ones, the non-cargo ones, the passenger planes, and the private ones, all transport things, the situation is even worse. Why hasn't any of the private planes that have been flying in front of the United States been forced to land? They should be searched too. Shouldn't we look into that scenario a bit? Seeing what the United States court has said, that through private flights, private jets, substances have been taken out, I think this is important too. Locked sky is a bittersweet feeling. It's a terrifying feeling for the thousands and millions of Venezuelans who right now don't know what's going to happen to their country, what's going to happen to their families, what's going to happen to their freedom. They don't know at this moment. None of us know. And it's even more worrying because now, with a Russia that is going to send oil tankers under the Russian flag, under the flag of Russian ships. Now, what is the United States going to do? Are they going to push forward and say, no, we won't seize the ships, no matter the cost, no matter the risk? Well, the United States has already secured its 50 million barrels. What's going to happen now? Are they going to start loading them right away? Are they going to replace them in the industry? What's going to happen? The judge? Maduro's case is like Cliver Akela's, who got 23 years? When Venezuela is free, we'll grant you citizenship. Thank you. It would be an honor. To have Venezuelan citizenship, because it's a very brave people. It's a people who are fighting for their freedom. Unfortunately, we're seeing things that are not going in the direction precisely toward that, toward freedom. I'm sorry to be negative. I'm a realistic person. I'm not going to come here and say that tomorrow this is going to be solved and that we're all going to be fine. That's not the case. That's not the case. I'm looking at the map right now of Caracas. I'm focused on Caracas again. Because to me, I mean, what can I say? To me, what happened the other day seems way too strange. Way too strange. It's odd that none of the defense systems, not even 2 or 3 with acronyms, were triggered. Yes, it's true that the helicopters were very well equipped for those systems. But for Maduro to be caught in 3 minutes, super weird. It's super weird. Very, very strange. Everything, very strange. Where was security? Where were the buses, and why didn't they go? There are millions of people in Caracas, in a state right now, in the situation that's happening right now, situation O, extreme security at this moment, where one should be with maximum alertness. Leave Maduro alone. Peace. It's counterproductive. Let's observe something. I'll show you a clip I think will catch your attention. Manuel, is this going to escalate to a more serious level? Possibly yes, Manuel. Evangelista Moises Custodio, thanks for your super chat, my friend. God bless you. That they hear the explosions and the helicopters at that moment while the bombs were landing. How did Maduro not have time to reach the panic room? This just doesn't make sense. The broadcast profile they're telling us about is just like something out of a movie. If you stop to think about it, they get here, break in, take out 30 guards. What? In 10 seconds. They take out 30 guards in a minute? Wouldn't they have an entrenched position in the bunker? There, if you stop to think about it, there are too many details that aren't easy to explain. There is probably an explanation. But it's not easy. Like the Casa de los Pinos. Was taken so easily. It's not easy. I insist, it's not easy. Since when was that bunker there? Those are all the questions.
Let's look for... This is the interesting part. 2004.
The first image we have is 2001.
No.
The bunker already existed. The question we can also ask ourselves is whether the bunker, because I think this is also important, if the bunker is only what we see here, or does it go into the mountain? Communication with the House of the Pines above. There are a lot of unknowns in all of this. Too many, in fact. Look, there's an image here. Let's look for it again. There's an image that you can see. It's a type of truck, actually, an entrance to a huge tunnel. It seems strange to me. The whole story itself, it seems way too strange to me. There was one of the photos where you could see a vehicle outside. I don't know if it's still around. The story seems way too strange to me. Way too strange. Yes, there was a brilliant operation, and we shouldn't downplay or take away its merit. But there are more shadows than light. More mystery than truth. This is very complicated. I think this was a negotiation between Maduro, La Chiringina, and DT. In my opinion, it was to be able to get out and escape from the Cubans. Realize they've removed the Cubans. And now I think this is where we're going to come out with the answer to all of this. Pay attention to this. Let's watch a Betty LaFea video to understand something. Betty has been making visits today just like Maduro used to do. That hasn't changed. Betty wants to be elected as a real president, not just someone who's there temporarily. If I'm not here to stay and I'm only here for a while. Let's take a look at this. By the way, the latest video from Diosdado Cabello, which we also have, full video, full sequence of Diosdado. Let's go look for it and see what happened around here. Family, we're live. This is live, everything.
Let's go to the world, because for the third day in a row, they are mobilizing with the calm and peace that Venezuelans represent. First and last name, my name is Maribel Chirino. Our message is that they return our president to us and, of course, his wife Sylvia, because what they did was illegal. In Venezuela, we have a president and we are a sovereign country. We are a country of peace. But don't doubt that we women have plenty of courage to go out and defend our homeland, to go out and defend our president. And of course, Cecilia, with love. We ask all the countries of the world to support us because we want our president and our Celia here in Venezuela. And if there's something to acknowledge about the president,
it draws attention. Look, we already know this scenario, the one in Miraflores. We know it. Let's see how many people they've gathered.
with tough times and the First Lady fighting.
First Lady Celia Flores, the wife,
Legally married to him. Isn't that
The message, the symbol it sends.
My name is Maria Delgado.
from Cristobal Rojas Municipality?
let's see how many people they can still gather without Maduro, the first show of strength after Maduro.
A country that doesn't. We're going to bring her to the garden to see.
Defensive. Even though he is being held captive, he is showing respect and love, the values he has for us and we for him. Everything that... Taking her away.
Don't you notice something? There's no one from the regime on stage. There's no sponsor in this part of the video, not a sponsor. Now, will he come out? Or not? Only that hair will come out now, afterwards. Our great women's march and the president isn't here? Other prominent figures, military figures, as we saw earlier with Nicolas Maduro, have left the Chavistas alone.
Waits for us. Nor do I stand firm because women are the size.
Notice that there's no one here.
And the flowers, like congresswomen, our republic with a broad
There are no Cubans.
trajectory in politics and law as well, right?
Declared herself a feminist, and that is our president, Nicolas Maduro Solana, congresswoman.
Let's look for it. Let's look for it. When Diosdado comes out, you need to realize they've organized things like appointing a female mayor and so on. But prominent regime figures, he doesn't appear. And this is a change. It's a complete change of cycle as well. Let's see if Diosdado comes out. Well, look, yes, look. He's here, huh? Diostado's here, but are you going to notice something? 33 minutes of the video have passed, which lasts 42 minutes. The time Diosdado is going to appear is almost nothing, measured to the millimeter.
So we'll all be fine.
Diosdado appeared unexpectedly and unprepared. It wasn't planned.
Here.
Welcome, Diosdado.
Delcy doesn't like this because Diosdado is showing that he still has power on the streets. For Cabello, this shows inner strength, huh? More than external, because the United States doesn't really care about this. It matters very little to them. What we're seeing here is more for internal consumption. Like, hey, I'm here, okay? I'm Diosdado, I'm here.
Comrades, let the workers know.
Now the feminists.
Let's see what kind of security Diosdado brings.
Our comrade Diosdado, how are you? Doing? Always supporting all our women, all the social movements, and today, on this special day, he will be with us.
Well, there are a lot of repressed people there too, as a friend of mine would say, but what is Diosdado going to say? Because he doesn't seem confident?
Yeah.
Look, there are no bodyguards. There's no one.
Long live the homeland. Long live Bolivar. Long live Chavez. Long live, long live. It always matters to him.
Me. I saw this crowd here and I said, I'll take a walk over there. Don't.
It wasn't planned. Look at what he's saying. It wasn't planned.
They invited me?
But I say they haven't invited me, but I came anyway. They haven't invited me, but I came anyway.
Pero yo me vine.
No, they haven't called him.
Oh.
Yeah, man, this guy saw. He said, there are women. I'm going over there.
Brothers and sisters, especially sisters here present, the woman who supports the Bolivarian Revolution, the woman who is the main stronghold, who is the vanguard, today takes to the streets.
No, 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 no. What we were just seeing a moment ago is the lower entrance of the bunker. From there, a bunch of tunnels open up inside. According to what they've said, it's a labyrinth through the mountain. There's only one entrance, and as you can see, it's destroyed. Later, a photo shows the entrance looking destroyed.
To tell the world and to demand from North American imperialism that they return Nicolas Maduro and Silvia Flores to us since they were taken away kidnapped.
Thanks a lot, Evelyn, for the membership. Hugs. Look, Cabello is insisting. And then this is going to provoke Delcy Salaga. Right now, there is a power struggle going on there. Let's see, the same thing as every day. I'm not going to take it off. If you want, leave, but I'm analyzing the changes happening within the regime. Helena, we're not watching Peppa Pig. On this channel, we analyze events in Venezuela.
La.
You're some very difficult people to explain. I'm going to try to say it gently. I want to see what Diosdado says. All right? Because it seems to me that right now Venezuela is on the edge of a cliff. Maybe you don't understand it. But I do, and like me, thousands of people do.
Look, women of this land, probably some of you don't know it, some of you, let's see.
Let's see. What is he going to say?
They don't know it. I'll take the opportunity to greet all of you. I also greet those hanging around here.
Look.
I'm gonna tell you something. You guys are so awesome.
Is he there without bodyguards? God, yeah, huh?
You guys, this are the reflection of what our beloved Brasilia is. Celia wasn't going to be taken away. They were only taking President Nicolas Maduro, and Celia stood her ground. And she said, if you're going to take him, you have to take me too.
This is nonsense. This is his nonsense. This is a crazy stunt. That's what's happening right now. This is just adding some drama and heroism to Salida, who almost broke herself with that headbutt.
And that's what Venezuelan women are made of: courage, bravery, and dedication.
Padrino's intervention lasts. Second, huh? He comes and goes.
Dedication!
Try it.
And you don't get that everywhere. But if you add to that the fact that this woman is Venezuelan, you're finding a perfect combination of courage, bravery, dedication, struggle, battles, and victory. Does imperialism know that it has a prisoner, that there's a bodyguard?
There's one on the right side, huh?
War on its territory.
And another one on the left.
2 Torrio kidnapped.
Look up, he's searching for drones.
Here, where he was elected by the majority of Venezuelans to be the constitutional president of our homeland.
And they also carry the famous Cuban briefcase.
Today, the voices of the world are rising.
Look at how the guy in green is looking. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it. I always say pay attention to details. They matter. This guy in green is tall, strong, and looking up.
They rise up, but above all, voices in Venezuela are rising up, demanding that Nicholas and Celia be returned to us.
And then we have another bodyguard on the left side, also with another bulletproof briefcase.
I truly feel proud, full of strength when I see the different demonstrations, but I was attending to some people. I watch television and think, but what about these women? I mean...
That he wasn't involved in this, huh? He wasn't involved in this story. He says he was watching something else and decided to go. I mean, he didn't even know this was going to happen, that there was going to be a gathering. He wants to, see? Look, listen, huh?
The television? And I said, well, but those women are over there. I wasn't invited, and I'm going to go up on that stage to take a look and visit her.
I haven't been invited. Does that mean they're excluding you? They're excluding Diosdado? You have to know how to read between the lines, huh? You have to know how to read between the lines. I don't think he's lying about excluding him. I believe he is. Plus, since they didn't get along, he wants him out no matter what. That's why he told the United States we have a problem with Diosdado. Diosdado, they've told him, Chamuco, if you don't behave, if you're not the good guy who gets the colectivos off the streets and you misbehave, Chamuco. And that's where the story is.
To visit and keep her company. Because if there's one thing President Chavez, Commander Chavez, and Brother Nicolas Maduro taught us, it's that this revolution endures with the women of this homeland. And with you, we will face any battles that come. In the end,
God has ended up seeking support from women.
Who today are at risk.
Right? You brought up Adele. That's a good point, huh? Joan, you just gave me all the keys. Didn't you mention Adele? Yes? Thank you for those 50 memberships, Anna. Thank you so much, really. And Starlight, thank you so much for those memberships.
It's really sad when people laugh at their own misfortune, because those who laugh thinking Nicholas wasn't taken, he was kidnapped. Will the Bolivarian Revolution fall? They don't know these people.
They don't know them.
We lost Commander Hugo Chavez. We don't have the physical ability to bring him back.
He admits he can't bring him back. Well, are you referring to Chavez?
Excuse Nicholas, yes, we will bring him back.
I have my doubts. I have serious doubts about this, huh?
But also, should they be measuring what has been raised in this country? In this country where people who have absolutely nothing to do with politics are raising their voices today in rejection of North American imperialism, in this country they have generated an anti-American sentiment.
That does not
Have anything to do with it. Those who laugh at their own misfortune today, don't they realize the Bolivarian Revolution is still happening here?
Well, he wants to establish himself as Maduro's heir. That's clear. You can see it. Now, I want to ask you something. Imagine that this is utopian because only 4 of the cases that go before that judge fall apart, meaning they end up being released. Of the federal cases or federal charges, only 4 get away. Now, let's suppose the trial is held. The entire story and legal process unfold, but there's not enough evidence to convict Nicolas Maduro Moros, or Silita. Now, Nicolas Maduro boards a plane back to Venezuela. And now he says to Delcy, I'm the president. Give me back the power. What would Delcy do? Imagine the show Maduro coming back and Delcy sitting in the chair. Let's see. It's not desirable for Maduro to return to Venezuela. It's not desirable, but it would be a show of madness.
And they're not going to get it. And they're not going to understand. We're not interested in explaining it to those living it because the Bolivarian Revolution will continue just fine here.
We've seen Adios Dado, and now we're going to see Delcy. I focus on security issues. Let's see how Anacleta's security situation is.
They go to Venezuela and
what she's up to over there. Let's see. By the way, the other day she was wearing a suit worth more than $700. Betty LaManca's little outfit the other day cost over $700. That could feed a lot of Venezuelans. That's a bad start. One was fascinated by watches. This one is fascinated by clothes.
The children are here, even newborns, the revolutionary future, because our country is about to be born. Collective decision-making, strengthening the planning capacity of the communes and circumstances.
Notice we no longer see the same people who were with Maduro.
Communal members of the country through the harmonious integration between the concrete action agendas. Currently, there are 1,750 million in the territories. The training and communication with the central area of this revolution.
Let's see the bodyguards.
In each territory during the precise world and communal circuit, and to strengthen the civic military police union, it continues.
You don't see her with bodyguards, huh?
Confirming what she has done for the Conozona and high school students.
Look at Timo's screens.
Times of revolution. There we also see the greeting to those who are in this beautiful hall, achievements that have been realized.
Oh my. Computers that they've only taken from some junkyard, huh? Some junkyard?
Active games all over the country, which don't stop and are at peace despite the constant threats. The goal has been set for January 1st, 2027.
Second, let's move on to the next image. Let's jump to this one now.
Here there are noble people, humble people, people who rise up.
Betty without bodyguards, huh?
With hope and true faith.
Remember that Maduro used to put 15 Cubans in there. 15 Cubans, and Betty isn't putting anyone in.
Because we do give them prominence. Famous quote from President Nicholas.
Well, there's one, I think, huh?
1 or 2 from the 4th, that's one.
It's the one in green, it's the one in the back.
Minister of 2000.
in the communes, in the communal circuits, that's the political power in Venezuela.
Well, there is Tabatare. Let's see. 1 second. This was, what time was this? At 7:14.
Sí.
There's Marcano, Tabata.
The communes?
Yes, that's him. Marcano Tabata, that's him. At 7:14. 1 sec, let's check the day. I think this was today.
Communal circuits, that's political power.
Let's see, that's Tabata in Venezuela. I think it's Marcano. Let's see.
In the communes,
It's him.
Communal circuits, that's the political power in Venezuela. Here the people govern.
And
that's why
bodyguards back there, huh?
That's why we said there's a constitutional government. Yesterday I was sworn in, as I said before.
Yesterday I was sworn in, meaning this is a day after the swearing in. We're talking about this being the 6th, that is. It was on Tuesday.
I repeat, with pain and honor. Yes.
Yes, that's a Cuban, huh?
The honor I have as a Venezuelan to represent the interests of...
There were multiple Cuban groups, huh? Marcano is the boss. Well, he was the general of the honor guard. Now he has been dismissed.
Our nation to represent Venezuelans, the Venezuelan woman, is Venezuela. Yes.
Yes, look, there's Marcano right there. Right below my camera, Marcano is there.
Let the threats stop, let the aggression stop. It's a right he has.
But he's there without weapons. I mean, he doesn't have a rifle. He's not armed. There was just a strike from the United States. They've taken Maduro away, and the head of the honor guard. Isn't he armed next to the new president? This seems really strange to me.
Let the threat stop. Let the aggression stop. It's a right that the Venezuelan people have.
She's really calm. Adele, right?
The second right is the right to the homeland, the right to national independence, the right to social power. And we've also seen a grocery store.
Yes, over there, the tall, dark-skinned guy with his back turned.
Where maybe the rest of the members of the Union shouldn't return. Venezuela must be liberated.
Today, the women marched and marched to tell President Maduro and the fighter Acilio Flores, you are not alone, you are not alone.
From Venezuela, here it is.
He is not armed.
We are mobilized. Whatever has happened, let's all stay strong, stand tall, and above all, keep working for our future and working to defend it.
He keeps talking about the future. Leave Maduro behind, huh? Chilindrina?
Our history and dignity make us a peaceful people, with reason on our side.
Who talks about peace, huh?
Greater agri-food and development of value, said through all channels. His life defending Venezuela, defending President Nicolas Maduro. For them.
Yes, look, the one behind my watermark's initials is completely Cuban.
Our recognition.
It pierced my soul, the images, the bodies of this, but I know, right?
I know. Look.
There's another one over there with his back turned. That's another bodyguard. This one too, the one in front of Marcano.
He's in front of, okay?
Notice how they clap? They're clearly convinced, huh? Look at this seal. The one in black with the Caracas cap to Maduro's right.
The city's supreme values were not marked.
We thank the words of the acting president of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, Dr. Delcy Rodriguez, during this tour of the commune. Socialist Jose Felix Rivas has called for an end to the harassment against the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. 7 days of national mourning have been declared for these
7 days of national mourning for Cubans.
martyrs lost in this unprecedented aggression.
Look, there's another one. I mean, one who's facing away.
2 teeth against.
3 or 4. He can bring 4 or 5, right?
From Venezuelan territory, Venezuela has contacted the studies of Venezolana de Television against.
And from here, yes.
Yes, about 4 or 5 at least. I mean, she is very, very, very calm, you know? She is very calm. The one we haven't seen is Bueno. Tremont is missing. General Tremont is missing. We don't know his whereabouts. Maybe he wants someone to get close and kiss him, like with Claudio, or touch his chest. Who knows? That's how it is. Goodbye, goodbye, scene. Maybe he wants someone to get close and do something like this. I don't know, but it's too strange, all these things. The purge has started and Salula has initiated it. Pay attention.
Yeah.
Well, just look, it was Marcano's last event because look at what happened. Purge, huh? This is the purge now. Attention, the acting president. Let's see this. Acting President Rodriguez appointed Gustavo E. Gonzalez Lopez as the new commander of the Presidential Honor Guard and director of the Military Counterintelligence Directorate. Javier Marcano's replacement is Bata. The acting president expressed her appreciation to Javier Marcano Bata for his dedication and loyalty demonstrated during the performance of his duties, emphasizing his dedication to national security and institutional stability. She also wished Gustavo Gonzalez Lopez the greatest success in carrying out these responsibilities, restating confidence in his record and commitment to service within the framework of the popular military police fusion and the Bolivarian doctrine of comprehensive defense. These appointments are part of the ongoing process of strengthening and maintaining institutions, aimed at guaranteeing peace, the security of the people, and the full enforcement of the Constitution of the Republic. If they keep reporting barrelize, subscribe, and release Zelita, how could you think of selling oil to the United States? When what you have to do is tell them either you return Maduro or no oil leaves from here. And if the oil doesn't leave, you'll have to come by land for it. And then we'll go to a war where Americans will die. Honestly, I just don't understand what they're doing.
No.
Or maybe I do, I don't understand. He's buying time, he's saving his life. But they don't want Maduro to come back. They don't want Maduro to come back. Tremont, the day he left the hammer, after that, I don't know if he's been seen again, but Tremont wasn't very attached to or a fan of the regime. Of course it's that. Think about it. Really think about it, huh? Like this. Thinking about it calmly now that it's nighttime. America wants oil. You have oil. America takes Maduro. Tell him if you want oil, give me Maduro. Who is my president? Give me Maduro. I'll give you oil. And he'll deliver 50 million barrels of oil to America. And Maduro, already rotting in a jail. Cilindrina is the one who pulled off the coup. Besides, the coup was her and her brother. And the big coup. Diosdado is waiting for the right time to strike and say no, 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 no. Diosdado is being smart. Look, why? No, he's not letting Cilindrina do anything or cause trouble. When the oil tankers arrive, they're sending 11 oil tankers, or I don't know how many oil tankers they're sending from the United States over there. He's going to let them load up and let Diosdado take them, huh? They might kill him first, but if not, that could still happen. There's no confirmation about Marcano being in jail. This is something that's been written on Twitter and people are sharing it like parrots, which is what usually happens. You have to verify things. I still don't dare to say that Marcano is detained. There are rumors, but I don't dare. Diosdado is letting her get involved with the United States, so that later, when he appears on television, because he will appear on television during one of these demonstrations, and they say they've betrayed Commander Maduro. And it's because he made a deal with the Americans. And 50 million barrels of oil he has given to the Americans. Instead of telling them, as long as Maduro doesn't return, not a single drop of oil will leave here. That's where Diosdado is going to dig Dell's grave, his pine box. And people are going to go after Dell, yes, because Diosdado has more popular pull than Dell.
Sí.
Dell does. He likes wearing designer clothes.
Ooh.
With his flow, Diosdado's flow is different. Diosdado will wait for the right moment to strike, and then we'll see what he does. Padrino, yes, Padrino stays behind, lets Dell fight with Diosdado, and then he comes in as the savior. Or he's going to stand together with Dell, defend her, or he's going to defend Diosdado. That's where the issue will be seen. Whether it was Diosdado or not. When now the Chavistas see that ships from Venezuela, from the United States are loading oil, they're going to ask, but how are you letting them buy our oil or take our oil when they have Maduro in jail? That's when things are going to get messy. That's when things are going to get messy. Complicated future. Also, the oil tankers and others are leaving. They are going to leave under the Russian flag, and Russia wants its oil. And here, they're going to fight. Here, they're going to fight a lot. Well, family, I hope you enjoyed this nighttime summary to make it clear what's happening today. What's the latest situation? We're leaving right now. In military strategy, we'll return if needed, but for now, we've left a raid there. I think Eduardo will do a live stream, so let's just send him a greeting and wait for his reply. Let's see if he knows more things. Let's see if Eduardo agrees with what I just said. Here, they're going to throw knives at each other and it's going to turn into a mess. See you in the next show, family. Take care.